Okay, so this is a video on my vacuum casting setup. Uh, Basically, I started off with this, which was a PLA print that was then lost PLA cast. This is out of aluminum. This gave me problems. This paint is not decorative. This is gray primer. This paint is necessary because the porosity of the cast was such that I was only getting 9 inches of vacuum when this thing pulls closer to like 26. This is a one-piece printing, again PLA. This was sealed using ABS slurry. You just dip it in there and it works fairly well. These are just brass inserts. This is 7/32, I believe, vacuum hose from the auto parts store. This hole here was just, about the right size, and I drilled it out to fit. This is where the sprue was. You can see this deformation here because the aluminum shrunk weird, and I just don't like working with aluminum. It doesn't seem to work very well. But this is just a simple, a simple thing. This was cast in place. I had previously tried to cast using RTV silicone. It did not work, so I scraped out most of what I could, used a wire brush on a Dremel to get out the rest, and then I used this stuff from Amazon. There is a lot of reviews saying it doesn't work. It worked for me, but I actually stirred a clocked 5 minutes, and then I cast it in this, and I cured it at about 140 degrees Fahrenheit on a stove top with the oven running full tilt, and it cured in about 5 or 6 hours. They say to wait 24. This is a used aluminum fire extinguisher I'm using as a vacuum flask. I understand the dangers of pressure cycling, and it is a temporary measure. It's not going to be used for more than a half dozen casts before I replace it. I have several of these. The biggest problem with this is there's no vacuum regulation, so the next setup is to enable some kind of vacuum control. I'm probably going to PWM this with an Arduino and a GM map sensor. This is designed to fit the Campbell's can, and usually what I do is I just drill holes in the center of this. I usually drill 5 holes here in a kind of a dice shape pattern to get the vacuum I need, and it works. Let's see. Well, I'll show you the pieces later, but yeah, this is my DIY vacuum casting setup. I just used a combination of plaster and sand, and it works very well. The reason for the need for pressure regulation is because this thing is just on or off, and with this setup, I'm pulling way too much vacuum. My investment is not strong enough, and so I get these micro balloons where the metal has actually forced its way into the plaster. And that's it.